You know it's a serious video when I start with the face cam part of it, because it's a serious product. Seriously good product. That's stupid, but anyways, it's an Acemagic F5H mini PC. This thing is crazy good, okay? I've been reviewing Acemagic stuff over the past like 3 or 4 years. You know, lower end, lower cost PCs, mid-range, high-end stuff with dedicated graphics. This one is crazy good. The price is weirdly low. I don't know why, but it's a really good price in this shitty market especially. It comes with dual USB 4, and it has a freaking Oculink port on it for Oculink docks. And the internals are also crazy. Okay, let's have a real quick look at the website. It's on a really good sale right now. So hopefully, I don't know, when you watch this video, the sale continues. I mean, look at it here. You're getting, there's a couple different variants. There's the HX370 and the H255, which is what we have here today. The H255 is an awesome CPU. That's why AMD keeps refreshing it. It's $549 in a market where everything is insanely expensive, and it comes with that awesome CPU, all the specs, 24 gigabytes of RAM, and 1 terabyte SSD. 24 gigabytes of RAM and 1 terabyte SSD alone are worth, I mean, honestly, close to the cost of this whole machine. This is a very good sale, very good sale. Now this is the direct website, so I'll put some links down below to that. Just having a look at it inside here, we're going to do a full teardown, but you do get component cooling. So there's a component cooling fan there. That's going to help keep help keep RAM and SSDs cool. Then you do have a big, large laptop style fan there, which is massive for what this chip is here. Now, most importantly here is we do have a couple things going on. We do have USB 4. USB 4 does allow you to run docks, dongles, all that kind of stuff. eGPUs. So if 780M here is not powerful enough for you, you can run an eGPU. It's great. However, we also have an Oculink dock here. Oculink dock is incredible. Oculink ports are incredible because you can hook up an eGPU and you get essentially almost full performance. We're talking like 97, 98% performance of that GPU. So you could throw on something like a 5080. Honestly, and I've done it with a CPU like this and get absurd performance out of it. We're in a market right now where products, computers in general, are very expensive. RAM, all this stuff is really expensive. A really good way to get into high quality computing without breaking the bank are mini PCs, because they generally cost a lot less than building a big massive PC or something like that. This one here is one of the more performant ones. Now this here has the AMD 255. The AMD 255 is a refresh chip. It's basically the 8845U, which is an awesome chip. Very, very, very good, very, very powerful, capable chip. And it's going to have the 780M iGPU. So this is going to be not only capable as a mini PC standalone as it is, just for computing type tasks, it's going to be efficient, and you can game on it because of those really good iGPU stuff. However, this one here has an Oculink port. If you know my channel, you know about Oculink. Oculink, you can hook up eGPUs. So we'll just take a quick zoom out here. Here's just eGPU, I have many. This is a 5060 Ti desktop GPU in a box, and it runs over USB and Oculink. So we'll test both. We'll test USB and Oculink. So looking at the ports here, DC, USB 4. USB 4 is awesome because you can use things like USB 4 enclosures, which can then give you very, very fast speeds for NVMe type stuff. You can run USB 4 type docks. I have one right back here, a USB 4 type dock, where you can significantly increase your ports in that. I mean, this has actually a decent amount of ports, but you can really increase them with something like that. Good bandwidth. You can use it for display out type purposes, and you can hook up eGPUs. This is an eGPU that uses USB. You do get 2 Ethernet ports, redundancy, and they are 2.5 gigabit LAN, so nice and very fast. I don't even have internet that can utilize that, but that's okay. Display port and HDMI, dual display. Fast USB, slow USB for dongle. Big fan on the bottom, also a big fan on the top. You'll see why. Nothing on that side. On the front here, power, microphone, headphone combo jack. 2 more USBs. They're relatively fast, you'll see. Another USB 4. So you end up with two USB 4. Okay, so easy enough to get inside. You take off the feet on the bottom there, just rubber feet. Prime up. Let's go in here. Just pops right open. Very good. Fan. So there's a fan here. This is the bottom, and the bottom has a fan that's a component cooling fan. So this is going to pull air in. It's reasonably large size too, so it won't be noisy. I've already run this for like a full day, so you know. Anyways, that'll pull in air into here. Keep everything cool in here. So in here, we do have some really cool stuff. We have upgradable Wi-Fi, of course. You can upgrade that. You have an upgradable Wi-Fi NVMe slot, so 1 and 2. 2 NVMe slots is lovely, and a third NVMe slot. So you actually end up with 3 NVMe slots inside this thing. That's crazy, right? 1, 2, and 3. Very, very impressive. On the flip side here, if you did want to take this out, you would take out 1, 2, 3, 4. You can pop that out and take a look at the cooling. I don't want to take the cooling unit out, but you can see here it's got a lot of weight to it. There's a very large cooling fan in there. Very, very, very large. You can actually see it there. It's actually a closed off chamber. Nice big surface area, curved fans. Hopefully you can see that on camera. I can see it easily. Very, very large. And yeah, it's nice because sometimes when these, you get these, they have potentially one NVMe or something like that, and the second one is an option, but then the Oculink port, which this has, of course, over here, then the Oculink port actually takes up one of the NVMe slots. Here it does not. We have 1, 2, 3 NVMe slots, and then we have the Oculink on top of that. So you actually get very good expansion, where you can expand 3 drives in here while still also running the Oculink port, and you can still run the 2 USB 4. So it's very easy to expand this one. So this one looks crazy inside. I'm actually pretty impressed here. This very simple BIOS. It's just an AMI BIOS, just very standard, very straightforward, easy to find. Come in here, where did that go again? Power configuration, performance. Okay, let's get into some testing here. So this will be pretty straightforward. I put it in performance mode, and we'll actually try it in that balanced mode as well. And the, what was it, quiet or silent? I can't remember what it was called. Yeah, so this thing here, we're gonna check here, it's idling at, it was doing something before. It was doing some Windows updates. But we can see here, we're idling at sub 40, so nothing. It's got that nice big cooler on it. Idle watts are not going to be very high on here, 5-ish. 4 to 5 will be around where you're at, depending on what Windows is doing. Windows never truly idles. If you got SteamOS on this, it would obviously idle even lower. And you can see there, it's all good. Okay, so let's come in here. We'll check the noise and thermals. When nothing is happening, it's completely silent. I'm going to turn off my other mini PC that's not silent. The mic might have actually heard the other one turn off. So it's completely silent when it's not doing anything, even on performance mode. So in performance mode, this is what this is here. Oh, it's actually a fairly high watt offering. So that's 70 watts there. Okay. So this should be fairly performant. That's a lot of watts for an AMD 255. Let's see what it drops down to once the burst runs out. It might be a 65 watt TDP. Let's see how it. Yeah, so it has a 70 watt burst and it just goes down to 65. 65 is actually quite high for this chip. That's what it's rated for. So this thing is giving it full watts. That's actually pretty nice. Let's zoom out there so you can. So it's in the picture. Okay, now finally it got a little warm, but it's still we're still under 90. Performance, yeah, it's exactly as anticipated, 16,000. Now, just so you know what that speed means here, I have a Lenovo Legion that I use right now, a gaming laptop, with an RTX 5070, and it has an AMD 350. Very similar, CPU not quite, but very similar, and it gets around the same score. I do all of my video editing and all of my gaming, unless I'm using a handheld, on that laptop, and this is the same CPU performance. So this thing is going to be very good for professional work and gaming, both. Professional work in terms of heavy CPU tasks, video editing, I do all that kind of stuff on here, and we'll show you. Yeah, so it's not bad. Let's come in here and see how noisy it is under full load with performance. It's still very quiet. Yeah, sub 40 dB is quite good. The mic will exaggerate the noise, it always does. Trust me, it's not that irritating. Okay, that's good. I'm going to kick out and go to that power mode, and I'm going to see if it made a difference at all. Okay, let's go to balance, which is what it came with, and then we'll just keep testing it, and then we'll come back and I'll try a custom mode to see if it's any different. Okay, we're back now, and we have it at that balanced mode. I just want to see what the difference is, what they set balanced for. So the boost, rather than going up to 70, only went to 65 for a moment, and now it's dropping down. So the performance modes actually do work. I can immediately say that they work. The performance mode was a 65 watt continual, which makes sense. That's kind of the TGP max for that CPU. The balance mode is giving it 55. Now you'll see over here when the score finishes, it should be pretty close, to be honest, in performance here. So you just set it how you want, right? They're tuning this thing to come with a balanced. They're tuning this thing to come with a balanced type setup, which makes sense. Right? It really does keep the noise down while offering good performance. But some people won't care, right? They just add a little bit more noise for a little bit more performance. But let's see how quiet it is. right? It's a considerable noise decrease being in balance mode. So I think that's why. I mean, it makes sense why they put it in performance, balance mode instead of performance. And you can see here, very minimal loss in performance, 15,243. So almost the same Cinebench score, 10 watts lower, way quieter, way quieter. Okay, now we're back here. We can set, let's try silent mode. You could do manual, but we'll go silent now and just see how that goes, honestly. And of course, the other thing you can do is you can come in here, you can turn off secure boot. I am going to turn off secure boot. The reason why is I'm going to install SteamOS on this thing later, make it into a Steam box. You could use it just with the iGPU. The iGPU would basically turn it into a Legion Go S Steam edition in terms of raw performance. More because it has more watts, but around there. And I'm actually going to try an eGPU with it as well. So if you do want to install Steam, that's the one thing you probably want to do is turn off secure boot. After you do that, it should be simple to just install Steam. But we're not going to do that for this video. That'll be a follow-up video. So just check out for that as well. Okay, so let's see what silent mode gives us here. I'm expecting it to be very quiet. I mean, it was very quiet unbalanced, so we'll just see. But I'm more curious about the watts here. What is it going to give us? So the peak there, 55, it's roughly the same. Let's see what it drops down to. I feel like balance and performance are going to be similar. It's just 10. They're just intervals of 10. So performance is 65, balanced is 55, silent is 45. That's a very logical step that they're doing there. I see nothing wrong with that at all. Looks fine. And just so you know, 45 is still going to be very performant on this chip. I know because I've used it a lot, put it that way. It should be a little bit of a performance drop, but overall it should run well. We're approaching my noise floor. I can still hear that it's on when it's running with, Cinebench, but barely. And yeah, look at that. I mean, we lost 1,400. So what is that, 6%, 7%? So I mean, you could easily run this thing in silent because it's still very performant. This chip is designed to be efficient. Okay, so video editing here, it's going to be quite effective. Again, I have done, if you look at my channel and you go back, look at all my videos, more videos have been done on this CPU or a variant of it, the 7840HS, 8845HS, or the 255. Same chip, just variants. More video editing has been done on this chip than anything else probably combined on my channel. I have done more of my YouTube career on this chip. So I can tell you right now, it's going to be good. I'm not gonna have any problems. So take this here, throw that in here. That's a 26.3 minute 4K 60 file, so it's a big file. So I throw it in there, I'm already able to play audio. If the chip is not fast enough, you are not do the audio stuff right away. I'm already able to come in here and mess with this kind of stuff here. Like I just threw it in, right? It's processed in terms of the initial run basically instantly. We'll come back a little bit to maybe there, and the audio is now fully processed. Now what I can do is I can scrub through. So it took, I don't know, 10 to 15 seconds to have full audio on a 30-minute 4K 60 clip. It's really quite impressive. Come in here. So let's just kill that off. We'll just go like this. We'll go is that approximately 5 minutes? 2 4K 60 clips. They're now unrelated, technically. Come here. Now, here's one of the nice things. I've done a lot of video editing on this chip with a GPU, and I've also done a lot of editing on this chip without a DGPU, like literally just the iGPU. I've done a lot, like a lot. So you can come in here, you can go HEVC. I do 4K 60, like so. And then you can see you have your AMD encoding engine, so it's going to be nice. You're not doing software encoding, and then you run it. It's not going to take 10 seconds like a big RTX 5090 or something like that, but it's going to be reasonably fast. My guess is like, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes. Well, what did I tell you? I was about right. It's just going to be almost exactly 4 minutes. Yeah, basically. I mean, like I said, I have done countless hours of video editing and export on this exact chip. So the average YouTube video these days are short. Most people do between 8 and about 13 minutes. Sometimes 18 is kind of the max, but most people are looking at around 10 minutes is the average YouTube video these days. So you're looking at about 7 or 8 minutes to export. It's nothing, right? You do your editing, it's gonna be nice and quick, hit your export and boom. Okay, so here we are. We're going to do some gaming, and yes, it will do just fine in this game. Okay, so we'll set up some settings here. This game's pretty hard to run. Resident Evil, it's very hard to run, to be honest. Hits the CPU and the GPU quite hard. Let's go with low and low. We can turn off that hair strand stuff. Yeah, pretty just reasonable, respectable thing here. We can do scaling. You don't have to. We could. You could just throw on like a little bit. Your choice. FSR doesn't have 4, unfortunately, this game, but whatever. It is what it is. So, oops, we'll just put a little bit of scaling, not a lot, and we'll just go like that, and we'll see what we get here. Okay, so here we are, just a little bit of scaling. This is a very hard area of the game to run, by the way. There's going to be a lot of chaos here, but you're going to be getting, 30 to 45 FPS depending on what's going on. The reason I'm doing this is like a worst-case scenario. It's really hard on the CPU and the GPU because there's all these people coming, and I just want to prove here that even with all this going on with just a tiny little bit of scaling, that is an unfortunately placed FPS box. But anyways, you can see here, even with this really brutal scene here, we're still getting 35 or so FPS, right? This is not an easy scene. Right, really quite demanding. Now, of course, you can do some other stuff. You could come in here and you could turn it up. Right, so actually turn it up. We're getting to, oops, that's the wrong way. We're getting to the point now where it can be, pretty hard to run. We're not going to do 1440p ultra wide, but we can do 1440p. Go like that there. Now this is way harder to run, obviously, significantly higher resolution. But you can play with scaling, especially when FSR 4 comes soon enough. You'll be able to throw on like performance levels of scaling without problems. So, all right. Now it's 1440p output with scaling, but we're also not on the minimum setting, by the way. We're just on low. Like there's actually a lower setting than this. It just sounds weird, but right, it's not bad. So let's kick out right now. We'll go to one more, and then maybe we'll try an eGPU. Okay, we'll do some Pragmata as well. I don't know why, I just want to do Pragmata. I guess we're going with the R-Engine stuff today. So come in here. Obviously it's turned way up. Let's move, that's very unfortunately placed. Put that down there. Graphics. Okay, so we're up. This will be a really high preset because I was playing around before. So we can go minimum or performance. Let's try minimum, right? So minimum uses typically like, it depends, 4-ish gigabytes. We can go performance actually, which isn't even the lowest setting, right? There's still one setting below now. We can throw on a little bit of scaling. We do not need that much. Go like that, just a little bit of scaling. And we're on performance, not even minimum. So not even the lowest setting here. Let's jump in. Just the tiniest amount of scaling. Right, and you can see there, it's not bad, right? This is pretty good performance, handheld level performance. And again, you could turn it down. This is performance, not even low, not even minimum, sorry. A little bit of scaling. You could turn it up again, it'll look better. It looks a little weird because my screen is not a 1080p screen, so it's going to look a little weird, but you could turn it up then. You could go 1440p, which is what the screen actually is. Go like that. It'll just look better. And then if you wanted, you could turn up scaling, something like that. Your choice. Looks way better, to be honest. And again, you could turn it down as well. This is on performance. You could put it down to minimum. But what I want to do here is basically just want to get a baseline, because now I'm going to hook up an eGPU. Okay, so there are like so many eGPUs on the market. Like you could get a dock and then put a physical like desktop level GPU on that. That's totally fine. You could do that. You could get something like the pre-cooked ones. Lots of brands have these little like pre-cooked kind of things like this over here, right? Little pre-cooked type eGPUs. They're fine. I just have this one over here. The reason I'm going to use this one is because it's not branded. You can hook this up over USB-C. I could pop that in the front there, and I could do USB-C. USB 4 type dock. It's not going to be as performant as Oculink, but it's still going to be a huge boost, right? We're going with a 5060 Ti desktop, 5060 Ti. Well, there's no laptop, but anyways, so it's gonna be a huge boost in performance. But this mini PC, you can do that if that's the eGPU you have. A lot of eGPUs support Thunderbolt 4, USB 4, Thunderbolt 5, USB 5, Thunderbolt 5. This one supports Oculink. So the one thing with Oculink is you do have to turn off the PC, whereas with USB 4 you can just hot plug it. So I could just take this and just plug that in. Windows loaded, just plug it in, boodunk, and all of a sudden it's using the eGPU. Here we can't do that. We have to actually plug this in this way. You plug it in this way beforehand. It's nice that it's on the side, not the back or the front. It's a perfect spot, to be honest. Turn on the eGPU. That is very bright. You can go like that. Then we turn on the PC. Now, if I had an AMD GPU, I wouldn't have to install drivers. It would just work because it's going to be using potentially the same drivers or very close drivers. This is an NVIDIA one, so I will have to install NVIDIA drivers. Here we are installed. I don't know why I did that, but I've already installed drivers. You can see that there. Okay, so you can see here it's recognized as a 5060. The nice thing is here, because Oculink, the downside of Oculink is you have to turn off the system, disconnect it. If you're just going to leave it hooked up, then it doesn't matter. You just set this on the desk and whatever, leave it. But if you want to pop it in and out, then rather than using Oculink, so you don't have to restart the system, you can use USB 4. It won't be as performant as Oculink. USB 4 is usually going to give you around 65 to 70% of the peak performance, which is still a lot. 60% of a 5060 Ti's desktop is still awesome. But Oculink is going to give you like 98% or something like that. So that's obviously going to be very impressive. Okay, so we don't have to do a lot, but here now all of a sudden, we're doing 1440p ultra wide instead of 1080p. We're doing way higher settings, ray tracing, high settings, yada, yada, yada. We have access to DLSS. You could do AMD as well. And it's just a proof of concept, right? And you can see here, because we're using Oculink instead of USB, USB would be good. You'd be getting closer to 60, USB 4, something like 60 FPS, which is still fantastic. 55 to 60, it's still awesome. Very high settings, turn everything up, and you're going to be good. But if you have access to Oculink, you can use Oculink instead. And the benefit of Oculink is generally you get essentially all of the performance out of the GPU. Maybe not quite, but it's pretty close, right? You're getting the vast majority of the performance out of the GPU, 95+%. And look at the performance now, right? So the nice thing here is that not only do you have the USB 4, some systems don't have Oculink. Some GPUs don't have Oculink, right? Like you have a GPU, some of them you can just get a Thunderbolt type system, whatever. But nowadays, why not get yourself an Oculink based eGPU and or dock? There's a lot of them. A lot of the docks, like the docks you just slap a GPU on, they come with Oculink and or USB 4, USB 5, whatever. And you might as well use Oculink, right? You're getting incredible performance. You can see here also the frames are static. We're not getting bad lows or anything like that because there's no bandwidth issues, right? We're just getting nice, consistent frames here. So you can turn this mini PC, which is, it's an awesome mini PC on its own. The GPU in there is capable enough, to be honest, very capable enough for, 1080p, low type gaming, 1080p medium type gaming, and modern AAA titles. Older games will just fly on it. We know what the 7080M can do. It's an awesome thing. Use that as it is, or if you want, hook up an eGPU. It's awesome. That's that. The F5H from Acemagic. It's a really good mini PC. I have reviewed many Acemagic products, many, I can't even say now, 10 at least. You can get 10 of the mid-range stuff, and they're now putting out, they've had it for a while, but they're putting out this one, a high-end type product, right? This is a really good mini PC. I've done Acemagic stuff, like I've even bought stuff like the Acemagic Tank 03, I think it was, and it had like dedicated graphics in it, like that time it was a 3070. They have more recent ones as well. They're putting out really cool stuff, These are the brands we want to keep around, right? The market is really bad right now. Everything is really expensive. You go out there, you buy yourself a desktop PC. You can spend like $1,700, $1,800. It's not hard to spend a lot of money on a desktop PC, even an OEM one, let alone a gaming PC. Something like this is more than enough, right? Very capable CPU, not just very capable CPU for like, I can do some basic stuff. Like, no, you can do all your video editing, your code compile, your heavy workflow on this, no problem. It's not only going to be good now, it's going to be good for many years until hopefully we get out of this price issue here. The iGPU in here obviously is capable. Video editing is just going to fly on this, no problems. And gaming, yes, it's a straight up gaming system. Stick around for the Steam test. I'm going to install Steam on this. I'm going to do that as well. Show you how cool that's going to be. And then, of course, it's a full workstation replacement, right? So you have in here 3 NVMEs, not one. Some of them have 1, some of them have 2. You have 3 in here, which is awesome because you can really expand this thing, get a lot more storage. If you're going to be replacing, a desktop, and especially in 2026 where everything's really expensive, get into something like this. This is, you're not losing out on a lot of storage. That's awesome. The next thing here, of course, you get USB 4 on the front, USB 4 on the back, which means you can run NVMe enclosures, get even more storage if need be. You can run external dock type things that give you a lot more expansion. You get tons of extra ports. There's already lots of ports on here. It's great, but you can get more. You can also run an eGPU. A USB 4 based eGPU is really good. And then, of course, the real GOAT here is the Oculink here. Oculink is incredible. I mean, obviously going to take Oculink. It gives this thing longevity too, right? This thing works now as it is. The CPU is fantastic, and the iGPU does the trick. But maybe in like 3 years down the road, the 780M, you're like, man, I really want better graphics. I want to be able to play, what is it? Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, and you're like, man, I can't play Grand Theft Auto 6 on a 780M with good performance. Well, the CPU will be up to the task. Get yourself an eGPU, a dock, slap into Oculink, and boom, all of a sudden you're playing GTA 6 on a mini PC. It's fantastic. The other thing I want to say here is these brands are at risk, right? Acemagic is at risk during this really bad price issue, like price war basically, where we have Micron, SK Hynix, and Samsung just gouging everybody, right? Not only us, like consumers, we have to pay. These guys have to pay a lot of money to put the components into these products. It costs them a lot of money. Right? And these guys were amazing before all this nonsense was going on, and they're still trying to keep prices down. These prices are very compelling. They're very compelling from this brand here. We do not want these brands to disappear. Support these brands. I mean, you're going to save money. You're going to save money. You're going to get an excellent product, and you're going to support a brand that you want to stick around, right? We don't want these guys to vanish during this price shit and just lose more and more and more, and all of a sudden everything's streamlined, and there's just no options for us. These are awesome products from a really good brand. Check them out. I'll put some links in the video description down below. If I can find affiliate links like on Amazon or for their website, whatever, I'll do it. But regardless, I'll have links down below. It's a really good product, and it has Oculink, so I'm never going to say no to that.